Hi, good morning. This is Kenneth Price. This is Sunday, February 12th, and I finally got a smile on my face because I'm here with my beloved, mighty companion, beloved, and we just made the most obtuse joke together because we're both going through stuff. And we're both going through stuff, and finally the ice cracked, and we made a very obtuse joke, and we started to laugh together. All right, so um, this is our 64th Zoom call for the ministry I'm hosting, psychiatricsobriety.com. Beloveds raising her hand. We are a community of courageous souls who have chosen to exit psychiatry, permeate the veils of mental illness, and if you're anything like me, to surrender the pharmaceuticals, get the hell out of Dodge, find out who we are, and empower ourselves, which means we're not mentally ill anymore. We're use whatever phrase works for you. You know, people here in the spiritual community say they are the Christ. You know, say I find out who we are. Who we are cannot be mentally ill. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I started this ministry about a year and a half ago, and this is the 64th Zoom call for Sunday mornings. I've got like 40 of them for Wednesday afternoons, late afternoons, early evenings. Folks, we come here for an hour. It's being recorded for YouTube, and we unwind ourselves from mental illness. It's a support community. We support one another. I'm a 12-stepper, experience, strength, and hope. I'm going to make a kind of a short introduction. I'm going through stuff. Beloved's going through stuff. But in the next hour, we're going to go through it together. We're going to get to the other side, and we're going to witness a miracle. I'm a Course in Miracles student. What's a miracle? Miracle is a shift in perception. When we get together, when two or more gather, we can use our intention, use our discipline, use our teachings. We're going to invite grace into this, and we're going to look at it differently. We have two ways of looking at things. I'm a Course in Miracles student. We can look at it from the view of the ego or the view of spirit. One of them has us mentally ill, insane, and on pills. And the other one brings us back to our connection where we don't need to tell any more of those stories. All right. So I start each one of these off with a healer's prayer because it's not about Kenneth being a teacher. It's about what comes through Kenneth, and it's about what comes through Beloved and the other people that are here who've made the courageous decision. And I'm saying courageous decision because we're unvictimizing ourselves. We're unvictimizing ourselves from the ego, from pharmaceuticals, from allopathy, and we're taking the road less traveled. And it's Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. In a nutshell, I've got video upon video, documenting how I continue to do mine. So the healer's prayer, if I can remember it by memory, because I don't have it on my iPhone, I believe it goes like this. We are here only to be truly helpful, and we are here to represent him or her who sent us. We do not have to worry about what to say or do because he or she who sent us will direct us. We are content to be wherever he or she wishes, knowing that he or she goes there with us, and we will be healed as we let him or her teach us how to heal. I tried recovering from mental illness, through psychiatry, through New Age, through all that was fine and very, very valuable until I realized there was a missing component, and it was right in front of me the whole time. I was I've been a 12-stepper since the 1980s, and they kept telling me it won't work unless you have a higher power. Well, I'm 55 years old now, and they're right. It won't work unless we have a higher power, because ultimately healing comes from grace, doesn't come from the five senses. And that's what I love about this community, because it was when I got on my knees and said, I'll do anything, that I began to emerge from my mental illness. I didn't heal from it. I didn't heal. I emerged from it. I saw who I was. I got above the battleground, and I saw the forest for the trees. All right, that's about a 4-minute introduction. All right, so we've got Beloved, and we've got Greg, and we've got Jody. All right, you guys, here's how Beloved and I started. Beloved's going through stuff. I'm going through stuff. We actually expressed before I pressed the record button. We expressed together. She got her rage out. I got my rage out. And then I did the introduction, And I again reminded myself, this is the reason I'm doing this. So I need to teach what I need to learn. I reminded myself of how to get back on track. And Beloved and I started laughing and smiling together. Been doing this for, 100 Zoom calls. Jody, how you? Miss you. Hi, smile. Speak for us. Your turn.
Well, I'm going through a lot of stuff too, and I'm just keep being given the opportunity to remember how powerful I am, and that each time life comes at me, I have the ability to choose which way to look at it, choose what to focus on, and choose to move. And I just keep being given those opportunities.
It's like that. What was that mystic Diedrich Wolfsack? His whole ministry is based on. It's called "Choose Again," over and over and over. I've been angry all morning, and damn it, this is hard work. I want the anger. I want to point the finger out there. Man, this is hard work. And Beloved's making all sorts of faces there. Choose again. Listen, I have authorship over how I'm perceiving things, and I'm not here to lecture to you. I'm just saying this so that I can hear it myself, get it on YouTube, and watch the recording in 2 hours, and again and again and again. Kenneth, choose again, choose again, choose again. Because if I believe there is the reason, the cause of my anger is out there, I'm mentally ill, I might as well just go back on all those pills. No. I want to smile, you guys. I want to be happy. There.
Yeah, there you go.
So Jody, Greg, hey, how you doing?
Hey, Beloved, I've been missing you.
Yes, good to see you. Look at you smiling and beaming. Are you going through anything, or are you the brightest one amongst us?
Am I going through anything?
You don't look like it. You look like you're like 20 years younger. I mean, who are you? Excuse me.
I'm doing good, I guess. Yeah. I've been talking to Jody on Facebook. Yeah, I'm still in the game. Still recovering from this one pill. I guess I'll be doing that for a bit longer. But yeah. And let's see, the ascension. It's going pretty good, I guess. Yeah. Well, at you, Beloved, you haven't been here for a while. What's been going on with you?
Anger.
You too?
Yeah. This anger thing and wanting to blame everybody. And I got such good stories too. I want to tell you. You're so good. You'll be on my side.
Can I share a tool about that, please?
Yeah.
I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and one of my favorite things about YouTube is the rabbit holes that you can go down. Somebody sent me a YouTube video, and it was kind of interesting, but I was looking underneath the video at what else YouTube thought I should watch based on that, and I found the most amazing thing. Dr. Dane here, he's with Access Consciousness, and he says, with every judgment, every thought, every pain, basically anything that comes to you, ask, who does this belong to? Because it turns out that most of the stuff that we experience isn't even ours. So the day I heard that, I was experiencing this back pain. I have like a vertebrae out, and that day in particular, it was really quite painful. And I heard that, and so when I hear things, I like to do a test on myself. So I did the test on myself, and I asked, I wonder who this belongs to. And holy shit, guys, guess what? 50% of the pain vanished.
Jody, how do you spell that? What's the name of that? I'll put it on the YouTube description.
Dr. Dane, D-A-I-N, here, H-E-E-R.
Okay.
And yeah, he's got tons. Like, I found a playlist on that, who does this belong to? And he has a lot of short videos on it. Hi, Chris. Amazing stuff. So it's part of the inquiry that we can do, right? Is that true? I wonder who this belongs to. So I ask myself, I wonder who this belongs to first. If it's not mine, it goes away. If it is mine, then I ask, is it true?
What do you mean?
Powerful stuff.
Who does it belong to? I don't quite get that.
So we're all connected, quantumly entangled, Greg, energetically.
Mhm.
And so we pick up on things. Depending on how sensitive you are, you pick up on things, and we carry things. And it turns out that, according to this guy, and I've done it a few times, and it's pretty amazing. Most of what we
Really?
experience doesn't even belong to us. So as soon as you ask that, as soon as you go in and just start asking that question, I wonder who it belongs to. If it's not yours, it'll go away.
Yeah.
Give it a try. See what happens.
Okay. Yeah. We've been in such a reductionist sort of industry. It takes a little while to realize that more spiritual and energetic kind of way things work. It's I hear you, but I haven't quite gotten a grasp on everything yet. I think I'm still thinking kind of I'm doing better, but I'm starting to. Well, one thing that helped me was when I talked to my psychiatrist, and I told her some stuff, and she, I told her some stuff about, I told her, I said something about homeopathy. I said, it's really worked well for me. She says, I don't know much about supplements. And, supplements are not what homeopathy is. It's energetic medicine. And I just kind of realized that, she never studied anything outside of allopathic. And it just kind of helped me, because I realized that she's not going to have the answers, because there's no study of them. So I don't know. I think, when I was in college, I remember a teacher saying something about stretching you, and I'm willing to be stretched. I'm willing to have my mind expanded, but I'm just not there yet. I don't know. I guess it's a process more than a place, but it's all a bit new to me. It used to be very, the spiritual and energetic. I used to always be very in tune with it, but yeah, it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to learn,
It's a lot to unlearn as well.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I think more importantly, it's a lot to unlearn.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
One of the things that Beloved and I were joining on before the Zoom call, she's going through stuff, I'm going through stuff, and she gave it to me straight. She said, Beloved, I maybe you can say it. You willy-nilly white people, you don't express your anger. You just play nice, and then you end up stabbing people in the back. You white people. Well, you know what? She was right. She called a spade, and that's probably why we love each other so much. There's no private thoughts between us. But the question I had to Beloved is how. And maybe this is the point of the Zoom call. If I let my anger out, I'm just going to say, fuck you, bitch. But how much am I going to get resolved there? Or if I just say, it's all fine, she's right, I will stab a person in the back. I'm at a crossroads here. I've got to find my voice, and I've got to stand in my power, and I've got to do this with authorship, authority, pragmatic help. Jody, maybe you can speak to this, because you're doing so much work on yourself that you might be able to steer this. So I have to share this with the whole YouTube, because my pattern is like my mom, and it doesn't work for any of us. Just made me mentally ill. Go.
So once you recognize a pattern, you have that awareness. Now you have a choice. You can follow the pattern, or you can choose differently. That's the simplicity of it. First, you gain awareness, and as soon as you have that awareness, then you have a choice.
That's perfect. That brings us back. Remember, we kept saying choose again.
and choose what to focus on. There's all of this stuff going on. There's all of this anger happening. Some of it belongs to me. What I'm working through right now is sadness and powerlessness. I've got more layers of that coming up, and I can choose to follow that. I can choose to focus on that, and that will grow. But then I can also, once I'm aware, and that's definitely my pattern, I can fall back into that really, really easily. Once I'm aware that I'm falling back into that pattern, now I have a choice.
Perfect. All right. Now that you've shared yours, let me share mine. Here's my pattern. Listen, folks, you have no idea how difficult I had it. I came out in 1985 at the height of the AIDS pandemic. Michael died, Ben died, Freddie, and it goes straight back into my story. And there's no empowerment in that story, but I want you to know how difficult I've had. That's my pattern. And I'm aware of it. And you're right. Now that I'm aware of it, I have a choice. This is what my work looks like. If I stay in that pattern, that pattern required mountains and mountains of pills, drugs, and alcohol. And the more drugs and alcohol, the more I needed the pattern. It was a spiral down. We're here to get on the spiral up. That's why I host these things so we can get together and do this work together. And the other thing is I'm not confessing. I'm being transparent. I have no shame and no guilt for that pattern. I do understand that it requires transparency, and that's the gift of this technology. I can announce it to the world. So now I've got it out, and now I can make the choice to unvictimize myself, and ultimately the reason I host these is I call it a ministry. The New Age community by itself, without a higher power, is not sufficient for me. I have to know who I am to unvictimize myself. I have to have an anchor beyond the five senses. I have to know a higher truth in order to be able to unvictimize myself. I tried it without a higher power, and it didn't work for me. And I've had a lot of people come to me and say, can I get sober without a higher power? And I tried it. All I can do is share with them that I tried, and it got me caught in more mental masturbation, to be graphic. It takes a spiritual, this is no different from Alcoholics Anonymous. It takes a spiritual awakening. I have to know the higher truth and see it from that higher truth. That's what I said at the beginning. What are we here to do? Procure a miracle. What's a miracle? Wine into water? No, a miracle is a shift in perception. I have to look at this. Jody, thank you, Jody. Jody's doing this. I have to look at this from Spirit's perspective, not from Kenneth's, conditioned perspective. There's got to be, that's the prayer. There's got to be a better way. There is so much invested in I invested, a bachelor's and a master's degree and in the other perspective. I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but the word is investment. How much investment have I put into this? A lot. I don't want to let go. I'm holding on. It's like that cartoon I did, I call it the spiritual awakening ride. I don't know if you saw that roller coaster cartoon I did. Two people on a roller coaster, and they're about ready to fly out of their seats because they're going down one of the dips. And the man asked the woman, do I hold on? How does it go? Do I hold on or do I let go? Yes. It takes, the only one who can answer this is going to be, God, Spirit, Jeshua, because my mind does not have the answer. That's Course in Miracles. I don't have the answer. That's also Alcoholics Anonymous. I can't, God can, I think I'll let God. That's what I've been saying for 100 Zoom calls, and most of the time you guys nod your heads with me. I just ranted again.
Let me just say, it's not just changing perception, because perception's endless, right? We have endless perceptions, So changing to right perception, it doesn't have to be confusing. It's confusing chasing incorrect information. So it's helpful to invest in quality information that resonates within your guidance system that says, yes, you need to read that. This is where you should go. This is, for me, it was A Course in Miracles. This is where you can ground yourself. This is where you can always come back to, so that you don't come back to that reign of person that you always depended on before. And we're always doing that. So this anger, I can use the tool of A Course in Miracles. I mean, I already know I ain't got a leg to stand on. Anger is never justified. So I already know I can tell y'all stories. You'll be on my side. Everybody will cry for me. And, oh, how can we help? And, was that the point?
Yeah.
We're all in the great setup. We've all been set up. We're just going to keep getting in the great setup, because if this is a setup, am I going to choose ego or am I going to choose sanity? I just call it sanity for people who think it's all spiritual. And, I used to think quantum physics was so out there, and now it's so logical. It makes more sense than that other shit did to me. Right? Jody's shaking her head, stuff that I thought I could never. Oh, I never quantum. What the motherfucker? No, it's like, oh my God, that shit that makes sense. So sanity. That is why I'm in this group, because I was one that was said, you're crazy. And I got a piece of paper that, and so that's my great setup. That's the story I'm here to heal. What was that great setup for? For me to pay attention to how I was in the world, how I was looking at the world, how crazy I was. Yeah. That's what it was for. Thank you. I got the message. I got the message. Now it's not about who has the answer for me. Greg, you have the answer for you. You have transformed yourself. You are just a master of you. Really, whatever you're doing, I want to know. Really, come on, guys. Am I lying? I'm not flattering him.
No, agreed.
Right? I'm not being nice. But that's what we're here to testify to, that whatever setup we think we're in now, because we're in 3D again. We forgot we're on the ascension ladder. And it's just not, we forgot. I like how Sir Doctor has it. He has it clear. It's very scientific. It's very logical. Anger is down here. It's in force. Force means I want to fucking fuck you up. I ain't got no access to nice. And my name's Beloved.
But Beloved, when you're feeling angry, would you say you still feel it and like work through it? It's not like you're repressing it, ignoring it, right?
Honey, I explode and somebody's gonna get it, which has been happening in 3. So this last time it has happened, and it just, when things happen in 3s, I was told, pay attention, see what the message is. Why am I blowing up at everybody? Why am I just all of a sudden hating every goddamn motherfucker? Why? Why am I so mad? Wow, the answer surprised the mother out of me. But it wasn't anything to do with out there. It was me. Right. I'm not in integrity. Just because you get off all your motherfucking pills and shit, that don't mean that you did anything. That's just like, okay, A. Okay, I'll give you B. Maybe I'll give you to C. But shit, just come back, and now we're gonna get we got to get it right, and you still got to do it. And all of us got to do it. Whatever setup we're coming in through.
I can tell you what my anger is about. It's about other people being inadequate, is what I think. But, I'm finding out that, and there's probably a remedy for this in a homeopathic, but, and we'll be looking for it Wednesday when I see my homeopath, but it's that, there's no truth out there. And that's what pisses me off. There's no truth out there. The truth is within. And when there's not truth out there, when people say stupid shit, or what I think is stupid, it pisses me off. But there's no truth in the physical world or in other people. It's all within. And I've got to believe in my own inner wisdom. When I believe in my own inner wisdom, I won't be mad at the world around me for not getting it or getting what I get, So
Greg, I got that on recording.
yeah.
So you can go back and you can play it. And I'm going to play it too, because that's it. You got it, buddy. This is, and can I add to that? Finally, and I have never stopped plugging my teacher, David Hoffmeister. I probably will keep plugging him because he finally explained to me, people think spiritual awakening. I want a spiritual awakening. That's what happens. You realize that it's not about the world out there. It's not about the people out there. And it hits us like a freight train. And that freight train, is a very sacred rite of passage, because we're doing what Pema Chodron told us to do. We're eating our own vomit, to be a little bit graphic. Her words, not mine. And I see, this is the very sacred moment of birth, where we have to be so kind and so gentle and so firm and so non-compromised, because we're so close, because we're right on the precipice of something amazing and beautiful if we can pass through this narrow chasm, this eye of the needle. And this is what it's going to look like. It's going to be very disruptive, because our whole world is going inside out, actually right side up, because the cause and effect are coming back into alignment. And we've been out of alignment, no fault, no blame, our entire life, because we came and were born into an out of alignment system. When we right side ourselves, it takes a great deal of courage, but we're right there on the cusp of the miracle itself. Perception. We're only right siding perception. This is what yours looks like, Greg. Good on you, as they would say in New Zealand.
Good what?
Good on you is what they would say in New Zealand.
Yeah. Thank you.
Before this point, we're still in the world of positive affirmations, which are very essential and vital, and they bring us to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It took me a while to figure out what my anger was about, but I finally kind of pinpointed it recently.
Jody, I know you're going to say something.
I have a question that I want to pose to the group, if it's okay. If it's inappropriate, then let me know. So I hear people say that the truth is within me, and I get that. I'm learning that. And Greg just said that there is no truth out there. And I thought, wait a second, is that true? I don't think it is, because, and this is my answer, and then I would love to hear from everybody else, because if there's no truth out there and it's only within me, why do I have a teacher? Why do I come to this group to learn from you guys? Why is everybody my teacher? So isn't it kind of both? I get both sides of it. And so what I do is I listen to all of my teachers, and then I do a test. I ask myself, how does that resonate? Is it true? What do you think? How does that feel? And then I'll do a physical test if it's possible with my body. So I think that's a very interesting conversation. Is the truth only within me, or is it all around us?
I would say that a good teacher points you back inside, teaches you how to go back inside. Yeah. And that's what I want, really. I mean, the last teacher I had, he was preaching to me. He was telling me this is the truth, or that is the truth. He was Catholic, and he was giving me all the Catholic answers, and I'm not Catholic. So what's my truth? So I think a good teacher points you back inside. But yeah, you need help. Definitely. You need help to do that, I think.
Jody, I think you answered it yourself. Because even though it's coming from outside, ultimately you have to choose whether it resonates with you, right? If you perceive it however you perceive it coming. Some of us might perceive it's coming in our dreams or whatever, right? Still, am I going to wake up from my dream and say, oh, I dreamed this, I better do it? I don't know. I might have to think about that. My dream said, man, I don't know. See, wherever that. So I think you just said, yes, you really said yes to what Greg said. And, yes to what you said, because you still ultimately say, how is it fitting with me? I mean, I love Byron Katie. She said, don't believe anything I say. Test it for yourself. What good is it? What good is it to you if I tell you guys I can walk on water, motherfuckers? What does it do for you? Unless, I mean, so that's not the point. The point is your experience. That's what I know, that I experienced it. Bam. So
Was it Byron Katie who said that, or Krishnamurti? I think they both said
Byron Katie. I mean, she always says
Krishnamurti
it.
said it
She
too.
says never believe anything I say. She says I'm not asking you to believe me. She always says she never tells you. She just said find out for yourself. You got the answers. And the you'll find ultimately isn't the you thought you were, because who's the you're looking to for the answer? That's Jody's. So Jody's really saying the same thing. I mean, we're all saying the same thing. It ain't this person, whoever you think you're in this 3D person in the world. You're not a body, it's a car. Get over it. We're eternal. We're here to do great healing and love experiences. We've been down in this below 200 level long enough. We need to get courage to propel ourselves out of here to that state of kindness, love, the things I aspire to that make me feel great. And when I feel him, I do. A girl, you can't, I'm feeling good and things happen. That's all I'm saying. It's a wonderful place to be at than down here all mad stomping around like my 2-year-old. Daggone it. So, to me, my lesson here is discipline equals self-love. Discipline equals self-love. Use your fucking tools, man. And like Jody said, you got to know that you're mad. No, you're mad. You ready to stab somebody in the throat, you mad. So you need to go by yourself and take care of that. Don't be around no little kids or nobody that don't understand you. Now, I got a good friend that I can be, she just said, just leave her alone. She'd be fine. And she just stay calm. Which is what I tell people when I am going off, just stay calm. Just stay calm. I'm not running around killing nobody. I ain't got no blood on these hands yet. Thanks for laughing. No, we are about love. We are about love here. Let's not scare people away. We are about love here. Ultimately, that is what the answer is. I know it's love that's gonna make this a amazing separation from my wife and divorce. Without it, it's gonna be ugly. Because my ego is very nasty and mad and spiteful. And I'm experienced in being that, but it's no good. Revenge is a two-edged sword, and I don't even know if they get the other side. So anyways, we're not here to be mean and nasty and blame everybody. No, we can't come out of this shit and still be mad. You come out of this shit, know you're mad, get some therapy, get some help, and know that that's not where we stop at. We're not stopping till we get to love, and we're going towards the light, and this is the time. All the energies are here. Kenneth, I think, was saying that. It's time now. Any effort you make towards the light is going to be magnified 10 trillion continually. As you can see, if you go from these videos, scroll back a few, and just look at the transformation of all of us. If the outside is any reflection of what's going on in the inside, which I totally see. So.
I like this group the best as far as like help that's out there, because it doesn't I don't know. I guess the other places don't have the answers that I want, but I don't know. They kind of give you a prescribed. I don't know. A lot of the help. Okay, it's all about me. Never mind. Never mind. It's not about them. It's about me. So.
Yeah, beloved, I hear you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I hear you just being. It seems like you're being very like practical about your anger. Because
Right.
I know for myself, like anger comes with a bunch of other stuff. You get angry and you cause damage to relationships, to yourself, to maybe to things. And then after you've come down from that intensity, there's shame, there's guilt, there's all this other stuff. And it's like, it just kind of keeps you in this cycle. And then you feel really small and you have no power. And then someone wrongs you again. And here comes that big, tough bodyguard. And he's going to be super overreactive and you're going to blow up again. And you're just like, it's like almost like an addiction cycle or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hear you
They
just being
call
very
it manic
practical
depression.
about it.
That's why they say I'm manic. You see, that's why they say I need to be on medication, that I need, what I'm doing is not working. And so you got to understand that it's still not going to go away. Who's rooting for you to get off your medication? They're rooting for me to get on medication, So, and we're here to say it's not a medication answer. It's not getting my prescription right. It's getting my spirit right. It's getting my choices right. It's maturing. It's discipline. I have to stay disciplined. I have to make sure I take care of myself. I have to make sure I eat right. I exercise. I surround myself with good, positive, uplifting energy, or get the fuck on. You see what I'm saying? I take care of myself immaculately because I am bipolar. So they told me I really have to take really, really, really good care of myself. Well, that's great news. I don't have no problem treating myself like a queen. When I forget, it's hard. I'm a queen, and each of us are wonderful in our own right. We don't have to be off of nothing, on nothing, or in between nothing to own that. But yeah, Chris, I mean, I don't want to be self-destructive. That is a pattern with me. I have that's my anger is self-destructive. I mean, I got to get, I mean, please, I don't want that pattern. I see it. So I know, I have fallen apart. Let me start getting up. Let me make sure I'm doing my lesson every day, grounding in me, what brought me sanity. I know the difference I know when I'm crazy. I know when I'm crazy. Believe me. And when you're crazy, you don't know. So that's a big step. Let me tell you. So if I know I'm crazy, I'm not, you see? But when people tell me I'm crazy, and I didn't notice, and I have to check in and make sure, am I crazy? Because they could be right. They could be right. I got triggered.
And I guess that goes back to what Jody was saying. You do need a teacher sometimes.
I have teachers.
To point that out.
Yes,
I have that you're.
I think you need to be rooted in a discipline. I was all over. I was researching this, that, the other, and 20,000 other things. I've been a this and that and the other, Muslim, a Catholic, a this and that. Oh my goodness. I done tried it. And the blue pill, green pill, X pill. I don't know. But that's the great setup. The great setup is to keep on going until you find it. For you. For you.
Right.
Might not be my answer. It ain't gonna be my answer. It's for you. No, your answer can't be. I tried it. I tried believing somebody with the cult member. I was a whole worship. Oh my God, I was that person. I worship. That's just passing responsibility. Kenneth said 100% responsibility. Until we're all sitting here willing to take 100% responsibility for the great setup. Producer, director, executive producer, screenwriter, filmmaker, we're all of it. It's a great setup, and enjoy it. I'm gonna make it big. I'm gonna be happy. My great setup now has shown me I don't have to be miserable and suffering and sacrificial and all that stuff. I can be a happy person. I can be free. I can be free.
Beloved,
all
there's
are here to
something
be
you,
free.
something you said I want to build on. You said we got to look for it. Now, and the first time, as soon as you said that, I don't know if I'm going to get this quote right, but I'm going to do my best. Seek until you find. When you find, you will be disturbed, and then you will rule over everything. I don't know if I got that right. I don't know where it came from, but that's exactly the point that I have been mulling in my head, is we've got to go looking for the answer. We've got to start. And I've called it many things. I've called it my vision quest. I've called it Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. But it doesn't come by sitting at home praying for God to do it for us. God helps those who help themselves. We've got to fill in the blank. What is it going to look like? And then when the moment arrives, it's a, oh shit, I'm doing this to myself. Jody's gonna, and I know Jody's gonna want to build on this, because at that very moment, there's always a slug. It's like I've been slugged in the stomach momentarily. But it's also the moment of freedom, because if I'm doing it to myself, I can stop doing it to myself. It's a huge wake-up call. It's not easy for anyone, but until you get to that point, you will slip and slide all over the spiritual smorgasbord, and you'll become religious, and you just, I've seen it in this community. They go and they pray. Stop praying and start doing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Anger management, please. Anger management.
They've always said we're waiting for God for an answer. I'm not waiting for, what was that, like that movie?
And then we have to say, where are we in our lives waiting for God to answer? Where are we in our lives? All that is our question.
Mhm.
It's our question we're so mad at. It's our question we want answered. Where the fuck is God in this? Why is God sitting and making me, not giving me the truth when I need it right now? We're all mad at God, actually. I mean, that's what the Course says. All anger is, you're mad at God. We're just like a kid that blames daddy for every goddamn thing that went wrong. Why, Daddy? You had all the power to make my life beautiful. Why is my life so fucked up? All Daddy's saying is, wake up, sweetheart. I love you. I have you. Wake up, sweetheart. Wake up, sweetheart. You're still here. You never left me, sweetheart. Wake up, sweetheart. That's all Daddy's saying, but you don't know. You're down there making Daddy all the enemy of every goddamn thing, and everybody else has to pay for it, which means you. Anybody else that comes by me and I'm not in a good mood, and you got that energy, we're going to chop it up. Stop. I'm so funny. Oh my God. But I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I like that analogy. I gotta this is my thing. Let's see, I have been in this benzo world since 2015. I'm about to have to face a job and getting out of my comfort zone. It's been a very uncomfortable comfort zone. It's been hell on earth, but I'm gonna have to get out of it. And
get out that fucking wheelchair, dude. You don't need it.
Yeah,
we're on the courage. We here for courage. Come on, let's get some. Give me some love for courage here. That's what we're all talking about. I'm stepping out on my courage and trust and faith, all those things that got you scared. Because if we don't face fear in whatever form, little, teensy, big, we're talking courage here. Courage here. And trust. Look at you. You're getting ready to show and share your beautiful self with the world. Oh my God. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think
Thank
it's confidence
you for coming out and sharing your light.
No.
Well, what are you there to give?
No.
Just focus on that. We can't all be there. What are they giving me? Because that's going to put us all back in the mental illness. I'm telling you.
No.
And again, we are here to give. And if you're not ready, do the healing. Keep doing whatever you're doing. Get yourself ready. Get yourself ready. Get yourself ready. Whatever you need to do, because we are here to be the light. We didn't go through all this stuff just to say, okay, now I'm fine. I'm going to go get a job and be a moron. No, we came here to be lights, and we have a great calling. We have a great calling. It's not just to be this not a 3D world no more, honey. We are about quantum physics here. This is, we're energy. We're about to change this whole
Mhm.
paradigm.
Yeah, and I think I
Sorry,
was
sorry,
very,
sorry.
I got, very obsessed with survival. You know,
As
I mean, I just, because I'm not a very practical person, and I was like, oh, I got to deal with this reality. I've got to deal with money, but I think, it's dangerous to do that and get into the fear. Because okay, this is hard to explain, but I had a natal chart. When y'all know what a natal chart is in astrology? It's like the basic kind of advice for you in your life. Anyways, it said grab it. I think it was, heaven knows what was the name of the book. It said grab your self firmly but gently by the scruff of your neck and plant yourself on terra firma. So it was basically saying that my challenge in my life will be to be practical. That's actually my spiritual path, to be practical. So I need to be practical and I need to be grounded, but not in a fearful way. Do you know what I'm saying? Because being practical I'm trying to learn that being practical does not mean being obsessed with survival. Practical can mean to be spiritual. Do you know what I'm saying? That there's practicality in spirituality.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, kind of like this homeopathy stuff. It's it's very different. But I've kind of realized that you have to be willing to think outside the box to be practical.
Great. You know what I heard from all that?
What?
You're going to go out and get a job, buddy.
Yeah. I just don't want to be wrapped up.
Listen, we can sit here and talk about the metaphysics all day long, and that's fine. But let's just, pick up our mat and walk and just do it. That's the way I got better. I said enough is enough. I went out and got jobs. And you know what?
Right.
When I got fired, it helped me unbelieve in failure. Get back on the horse and just do it.
Right.
It's hard to get back out there. I had a hard time getting back out there. And so I said, fuck it.
Yeah.
And I didn't until I did it my way.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But you can do it all depressed and shit, and you ain't gonna do nothing. You have to do the inner work to get out. Then if you go out too early, you're just gonna be back down because you didn't get it all. You're supposed to be this strong because you missed this piece. And you see what I'm saying? Life teaches us. It teaches us. Oh yeah, but you thought you was ready.
Yeah.
Oh shit. What? Got my attention. Whatever gets your attention. But it's hard. I know that was a hard barrier for me. I had no confidence, girl. I was hiding with my daughter. Poor kid. She was so wonderful. Thank you, daughter. She was so wonderful. She didn't kill me. Huh. But
that's
no,
what it is, right? Lack of confidence and a lot of fear. It's just
fear. Oh
so
my
hard.
God. Debilitating. Let's call it. It's debilitating. That's why you get on pills, because it's debilitating. I can't seem to, so it's whatever it is, you could become alcoholic, whatever it is you're using. But, like I said, we're here to say, grace got me off the floor, A Course in Miracles, I found God was my friend. And I set me up for this. Because I wanted to do all this stuff. I wanted to play down here on planet Earth and get all into the stories. And I love this shit. I'm going to say I had a wonderful life. I have a wonderful life. I have a fabulous life. I'm in Mexico. Shit. Where are you? But I'm so bad.
What were you going to say?
I was just thinking, I think, because I've been dealing with a lot of fear lately and lack of confidence. And beloved, I was thinking about you earlier this week because I had a big blow up and sent me on this whole spiraling downward of shame and all these other feelings. And until I took a day off work to dedicate just to like turning my mind around and and I was looking at my blow up and trying to dissect it, and I was like, at its simplest takeaway, I was overwhelmed, and I felt as though I couldn't handle what was being asked of me. I think that's really what it was at the
Right.
simplest, core.
Mhm.
And why didn't I think I could handle it? Because like I wasn't confident, I was scared, all these things. And so the anger is just like this self-defense, it's this I don't think I can do it. So get away from me. How dare you?
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I try to I was looking up stuff about fear and just looking for motivation, and I came across some quote, and I don't know who said it, and I'm not even going to paraphrase it because I can't remember what it was, but the core of it was something like this is about how you can't fail twice. We're so like you can't fail in the exact same way twice, because you aren't the same person that failed the first time. You have the wisdom and knowledge of that first failure. And like I was even thinking of that, Kenneth, when you spoke earlier. You're saying like when you slip into your story, it'll be like, these are all these like horrible things that happened to me, which is like only natural and reasonable that you would bring that up. It was really hurtful things, and it makes me wonder if there's a fear there of like, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want that thing to happen to me. That's at least that's what I have a lot of that fear. It's like I don't have the courage to go forward because a bad thing happened to me in the past, and I really don't want that to happen again. So and so trying to think about like, okay, if I failed before, or if something happened to me before, there's no way it can happen to me the exact same way again, because I'm not the same person, and that gave me a bit of confidence, as well as looking at the things I've done in the past that were scary that I did. I'll try to focus on them and be like, okay, if I did that, if any of us have faced our fears once before in the past, then that's evidence that we can do it again.
Yeah.
And beloved, you're so good at pumping everyone up, and it sounds like you do that to yourself. That is so awesome.
And anger is a pumper up for me. I found it has been what I have needed to get out of terrible situations. And I've never been a person that does anything like Greg would approve of. Like, don't jump off that cliff. Yeah, don't jump off. Yeah, I will jump off the cliff because I don't know why. I can't tell y'all. But I have to, and it's about embracing who we really motherfucking are. And it takes courage because I'm on a spiritual path don't mean I don't have a personality. I got a personality. I'm a person, apparently, in this body, and we're going to do the best we can with this dream. But ultimately, I know this isn't anything to be, that's not the bottom line. It's about love. And I am to be loved. And who I am deserves to be loved. And who is going to know how to love me but me? My wife's not going to know how to love me.
Kenneth, when was the last time you did ayahuasca?
What?
When was the last time you did ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca.
I love how he says it though.
Oh yeah, was it about a year ago? Might have been upwards of a year ago, before I left from Mexico. The ayahuasca, Greg, I would say my first 3 ceremonies were absolutely groundbreaking, and beyond that, minimal. And I've still been reflecting on what I was able to capture. Ayahuasca showed me that I gotta let go. And ayahuasca said, if you don't let go, here's what you're doing to yourself. It's not real complicated. I've done so many writings on because when I got out of the first 3 ceremonies, they were so profound that I couldn't stop writing. The writing subsided, and come down to planet Earth and gotten back into the work environment, I probably wouldn't be able to do any of this work if it hadn't been for the ayahuasca. A whole different conversation in itself. Honestly, I'm glad you brought that up. We only got a few more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I was very much I couldn't stop talking about it after I did the first few ceremonies. It's been several years, since I think my first one was August of 2019. I highly believe in many cases, it's actually, the medicine's actually essential. Unless the person knows how deep this rabbit hole is, I've seen it countless times. There's just a lot of spiritual talk, a lot of new age, blah, 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 blah. And I don't sense, a great deal of integrity or a deep level of humility until we ultimately get to the ground floor basement and make the ultimate core discovery. We're not going to have a house built on rock. It's still going to be built on sand, and I don't have time for that anymore. Wash away the hand the house that's built on sand, and let's start building on something solid, based on humility. The truth is, folks, we don't know. That's empowerment. Because it opens up our heart, and we're willing to be shown. Otherwise, we're going to be, parroting other people's wisdom. Doesn't work that way.
But are you saying that the ceremonies have served their purpose and they're not really doesn't?
Greg, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to wake up. It's part of my work here, as a Course in Miracles student. I got to wake up and ask say the prayer, show me.
I love that. I mean, I was scared to take therapy. I didn't want to go into marriage counseling. I didn't know if I was ready to dig that deep. Was I ready to go there? In my perfect looking, was I willing to dig that up? You got to be willing to, you don't be open. We're all here to be open because we've been shut down so long. It's going to be scary, but you got to have courage. So all of us, whatever gives us courage, I need y'all to get some courage up. Let's get it together. Stop moping or go outside, getting some sun today. Get a crystal. I don't know what you all people do. Smell some flowers. Oh, the football game. That's what y'all, I don't know. But it sounds so terrible. But I am just poking fun at everybody. All of us. We're all funny.
Beloved,
on that note, how about if I start wrapping up the recording, you guys? Anybody want to do anything to close this up? We're at 12:57 and I go for 60 minutes.
Well, I just thought if maybe Beloved could leave us with some tips on what do you do, Beloved, to pump yourself up?
House music, put on a house music mix. If you don't know what house music is, I'm sorry. But, and dance. Outside, preferably. In the sun if you can. Privately if you can.
That's it.
Yes.
Beloved, it took us 58, almost 59 minutes to get the topic for the video. The topic of this video is dance. This is Kenneth Price on Sunday, February 12th. I'm here with my mighty companions, Beloved, Greg, Chris, and Jody. For the ministry, I'm hosting psychiatricsobriety.com for the courageous souls who have chosen to exit psychiatry, permeate the veils of mental illness, and surrender their pharmaceuticals if that's their decision. This is the 64th Zoom call, and I could not be more thrilled to have the privilege and the honor to host this ministry. And if you're watching this, leave your comments below, but even more than leaving your comments, even more than making a monetary donation, which would be helpful, by the way, is to show up at 9 a.m. Pacific time on a Sunday morning. I need participation to keep these going. They're very valuable. They're helping all of us. Thank you for watching. God bless, and may the force be with you. Bye.